Now, large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes, all a possibility for you in Dallas. Now, we will likely see thunderstorms both days of the weekend, but it's not going to be raining or storming all weekend long. This is going to be isolated to scattered activity, but the threat is certainly there. There's a marginal risk, we think, on Saturday, but the risk is likely a little bit higher as you head into Sunday, particularly along and east of the I-35 corridor. Notice temperatures will continue to stay mild onto your Saturday, and then Sunday will cool it down as the storms move on through. Here we go hour by hour with our future radar showing you just some occasional showers and thunderstorms developing. Saturday morning for the most part looking okay, and then in the afternoon we'll start to see things fire up. There you go, Big D. As we head into your Saturday night, we'll see a few stronger thunderstorms likely, and then tracking off towards the east. And there you can see things will begin to quiet down, at least for a brief period, we think, into the middle of the day. Well, some of you would love to see some of the rain that these thunderstorms are producing. Squalls in parts of the Northeast. I know that's my big pet peeve, right? I call it, it looks like a loaf of bread, right? You got the big loaf sitting on top of your roof. Clear everything off, everybody. So the snowfall that's coming down here across parts of the Northeast, not amounting to much. We're talking at worst in some of the most intense bands, we could get an inch or two of snowfall, but our air mass trying to dry out a little bit more. And so we do think these snow showers are going to be diminishing as we head into the latter hours today and into early tomorrow morning. So there you can see it coming in off of Lakes Erie and Ontario. Could it limit your visibility at times across parts of the New York State Thruway? Something to keep in mind. Albany, you're reporting some of that blowing snow, which will continue to be a problem here. And there you can see a little bit of light snow or a few flurries around Pittsburgh as well. All right, so this is just a little something going on in the Northeast today, but could we be dealing with yet another nor'easter on tap as we head into next week? Carl Parker is in some of the cities being impacted by this and give you a specific forecast for that. We're taking a look at Shreveport, Louisiana right now. For your weekend plans, Saturday looking to be the better day, especially early on. Hit and miss thunderstorms possible Saturday night into your Sunday and continuing into Sunday night. Here's a look hour by hour at your forecast and the future radar, what that may look like. Notice just some spotty showers on occasion, but we do think the thunderstorms could get strong into eastern Texas as we head into the afternoon and evening hours on your Saturday, and then spreading eastward, moving across much of Louisiana and then into lower parts of Mississippi as we head into your Sunday afternoon and into the evening hours. And I have a little frog in my throat right there, so I apologize for that. But I do want to show you along the I-10 corridor here into the afternoon on Friday. Not too bad. But here we go. Things likely going to be firing up as we head towards your Sunday. So Sunday probably the bigger day for you. Let's get a little bit more about what we can expect this time of the year for tornadoes and climatology. We'll go back to Dr. Fritz. Are rejoicing over big snow that's walloping the Sierra Nevada. A major snowstorm is dumping feet, I said feet of snow over the region. Great news considering that the snowpack is still less than half of what it normally is for mid-March. The bad news, well, the snow is causing treacherous road conditions. South Highway 89 is closed between Truckee and Alpine Meadows due to multiple crashes. Authorities are urging drivers to take it slow. Sure if I'm going to get in. On top of that, something to keep in mind, spring breakers, is that we do have a risk of rip currents along the Atlantic beaches. So even though it's really dry, it's really beautiful, your temperatures are warm, make sure as always that you swim at those lifeguarded beaches. So as we take a look at the forecast for tomorrow, more sunshine expected across much of Florida. But take a look at this. If you're over in the Panhandle, say towards Destin area as well as Pensacola, there may be some hit and miss shower and thunderstorms, as well as into parts of the deep south. And then on Sunday, we'll watch northern parts of Florida, see a chance of getting some wet weather, but staying dry to the south of it, that's for sure, don't they, Carl?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a storm that shows up, but it's very complicated. There are a lot of moving parts. There are at least 3 different upper features that come into play here. The different models are showing different things, and then also some of these features are out over the ocean. And when you think about what's going on with observation stations, you've got thousands obviously over land. Right. There are a lot of buoys, but there's very, very little in the way of upper air data. And so what the computer models have to rely on is the satellite imagery. And so the picture that they paint of the atmosphere of the ocean is not going to be of the same quality as you get over the land areas. And you've got a feature right here that's out of the ocean. You've got another one that's south of the Aleutians right there. They are going to figure really prominently into this forecast, most likely.
So all these things have to come together. We've got fluid dynamics at play here, and we've got a lot of real estate to cover between now and then as well.
Absolutely we do. And so, you know, this is a model model representation of the spin in the atmosphere, where the lift is in the atmosphere. Got a broader trough here, a little short wave right there. That's going to kind of come around. It's like a softball pitch and get kicked out. And then there's another piece that's back in here. So here we go into Sunday. Here's the piece that's going to come out rapidly. There's a piece that's going to break off of that there. And both of those come together in the east. So you have this lead disturbance, which comes across the east right here. This is the European solution, which is flatter relative to the GFS. Then you've got this trough that's digging in here, and then you've got another upper piece that's coming down behind that. So you've got three separate things that are coming into play, and that's why it's probably going to be a prolonged event. It's probably going to start Tuesday, go into Wednesday, and continue into Thursday as well. And this is the latest run of the GFS model, and it's showing some snow breaking out there in Pennsylvania and the tri-state region on Tuesday. Pretty wet storm for DC on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, here's the low going offshore. Here we see a northeasterly wind component, so we could indeed have a nor'easter, but they come in all shapes and sizes. It may not be anywhere near as strong as the ones we've had already. And you see how far back to the west the snow is there. So that's telling you that you've got a lot of different parts to this system. And then as we go into Thursday, we see the third little piece coming through, and then with that we get some additional snow coming across parts of the Northeast. Now, that's the GFS. I want to show you the European model, and the European model has been fairly consistent. So we do have a little bit of this sort of a tug of war going on between the models right now. This is the latest run of the European model, showing that first little shortwave coming through with some impact there in Northern Virginia, but not nearly as far north. And then it basically just goes offshore after that point. So you get none of this impact here as the European model sees it, and then it continues out like that. So there's still a tremendous amount of disagreement in the modeling right now, and that is owing at least in part to the fact that so many of the features, so many of the players are out of the ocean, you know, halfway to Japan at this point.
And we've seen this, though, over our last 3 nor'easters, that the models have not been matching up on them at all.
Absolutely.
And what do you like as a solution at this time?
Well, boy, that's tough. I mean, that's a really tough. I think it's interesting that the GFS has been fairly consistent about the system. So I think that there is a risk here. I think the risks are greater to the south than they are to the north.
Right. So people in D.C. that are wanting their snow, there's hope.
There is hope. Yes.
They're saying there's hope. All right. Well, we're going to have more than the threat of the nor'easter raising the